recording. Okay, good evening to the learned delegates from corporates, academia, and dear fellow learners. We hope you and your family are safe and in sound health. We appreciate your punctuality, discipline, and hunger for knowledge. As a host of this session, I would like to welcome all of you to Onism's presents second international virtual webinar. So you all know about that. Today's topic is smart email writing approach for career excellence. So let me share about some brief intro about our Onism and about myself. As a host, I am Mohammad Hossain. I am a postgraduate student of Universiti Putra, Malaysia. I am a lead consultant and founder Onism Consultancy. I am vice president BSAUPM and conference secretary BSUM. And I am an editorial member of International Journal of Social Science, Innovation and Education. So in my short 2 years research career, I published 30 articles, including Q1, Q2, and Q3, and facilitated, organized, moderated, and co-anchored 42+ workshops, seminars, and conferences. And I have attended 155 plus training and workshops so far. This is my short bio, and this is our past activities of Onism. Previously, we organized a lot of seminars, and we helped around 25 MSc and PhD consultations. We assisted in 56 publications, including Web of Science, Scopus, and ERA. We proofread and edited 35 manuscripts so far, and the list goes on. Recently, we organized some workshops and webinars as well in the new normal, and we were the co-organizer of the BSUM Virtual Soft Skill Fest 2020. These are services we're providing. So basically, we're bridging between the academia and corporate. We provided the research services as well as the soft skill and hard skill services. Our research services, including proofreading, copy editing, substantial editing, writing and rewriting, formatting, and plagiarism checking, conference and workshop organizing. And our hard skill services, including SPSS, SCM, MOS, NCS for engineering, Mendeley, and Note, academic writing, and MS Office. And the list goes on. And soft skill services, we provided the leadership, communication, negotiation, public speaking, critical thinking, selling skill, emotional intelligence, digital marketing skill, corporate grooming, and neuro-linguistic programming, and the list is going on. So all you know that today's our session is smart email writing approach for career excellence. And we have planned to organize more workshops distinguishing between the academia and the corporate as well. And today, ladies and gentlemen, now I would like to introduce our lead trainer, Mohammad Osman Farhan Al Harun, PhD researcher, Universiti Putra, Malaysia, the assistant professor, Green University of Bangladesh. He is a career consultant and chief facilitator, English for Life, professional corporate trainer, Bdjobs training. Mr. Osman Harun is an associate professor, and he has 16 years practical teaching experience at different sectors, including secondary, tertiary, and corporate sectors as a professional educator, possesses 3 master's degrees in ELT, English Literature, and Business Administration. He trained and professional of reputed corporate houses in Bangladesh, including Regional Public Administration, BRAC, Islamic Bank, New Vision, EMK Center, Imami Bangladesh Limited, and so many. He published many scholarly articles, features, stories, travel logs, articles on contemporary issues. So without further ado, I'm welcoming our lead trainer today to deliver his valuable presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Imtiaz. Actually, this is on due time. We would like to start. There are 7 participants so far, but I hope there will be more with the time. And let me now share the screen with you. And
could you share?
You should allow me to. Did you allow me to share the screen? You have to allow me. I'm Imtiaz.
Okay, I'm making you host, but I'm scared about the you have to admit the participants as well. Okay, I'm making you host because there is no co-host option. You can share.
Can I share now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think someone is waiting. Sheridan alum, just accept the persons. Just give me 1 minute, please. Sure. Can you see the slide?
Yeah, I can see.
Okay, dear viewers, good evening, assalamu alaikum, and welcome to this webinar. As Mr. Imtiaz has introduced, this is our second international virtual webinar, and that's all about email writing. We titled it the Smart Email Writing Approach. And that's not for only one purpose. We have two purposes. One for the students who are the academicians, and another for those who are already in the job. In our flyer, we already mentioned what we are going to cover. And apart from that, what we cover more. And I hope you will get to know as per your expectation. So this is a live session from Malaysia, and I'm sure that there are many participants from different part of the world, and I don't need to introduce myself. I'd like to thank first the organizer, Onism Consultancy, for making this arrangement. And this is our first arrangement on this email writing, but we have planned to do more, inshallah, in future. But I will tell the host to those who are waiting, if you can see, I can see here many people are waiting, allow them to get in. 4 people have entered, I mean, those who are there. Okay, now.
But sorry, I couldn't admit the anyone because of you are the host. Okay. There is have some restriction.
Okay, then I think I have to admit all.
You have to admit all. Yeah.
I have to admit all because those who are there, no problem. Okay, now let me tell you, those who are already here, I mean, already in this webinar, I will request you, we will use our chat box for sharing information. For example, I would like to tell that those who are here, I can see their names, but apart from that, if you also write your name and affiliation, like from where you belong. For example, if I go to my next slide, your name and also where are you from. For example, you are from UPM, you are from Dhaka University, you are from Delhi University, you can write down. And those who are from Green University or from UPM, you can write your name in the chat box. Later on, we'll check it that who were there. Okay, now we are talking about our, in fact, participants' expectation. I got some information about what was the expectation of the people, the expectation of the participants before joining this webinar. One person said, I hope it will be a life-changing webinar. I'm sure that the public expectation is very high for this sort of program. Okay, let's see whether we can do something for the changing of your career, not life maybe. Okay, now if we talk about what we are going to cover in this webinar, we will talk about some of the common things maybe, which some of you might feel like, okay, the formats, but for many students, they do not know. Then we'll talk about some techniques, which is our core issue of the webinar, that is how you can convince by email people. People means if you are in the academia, how you can convince those who are in the academia when you are mailing. because we have lots of now medium for actually communication. Why email and how email can be helpful, that we would like to show here. And finally, with the passage of time, you will come to know that what are the techniques that you should avoid after this webinar or training. That is, you will not repeat. Because from the very beginning, when we learned the email or how to email, how to mail someone electronically, we were not aware about emailing. But now, when with the passage of time, when we are in the undergrad, when we are in the postgrad, we know that email is a very important communication, and by email even you can get a grant, you can get a supervisor, you can get a job even, depending on how you approach. So of course there are certain things that you need to consider when you write a mail, because these people, I have to tell you, when check your mail, they will also identify you as a smart person. I mean, communicator, since email is a good communication medium of communication. Now, we are basically talking about email writing techniques, and more importantly, how to write professional email, or we will be talking here how professional email can be handled. Okay, now when we talk about the professional mail, you have to remember that is from the very beginning, that is from the very email address to the ending. I repeat, from the very beginning to the ending, you have to take it like that professionally. For example, if I talk about the email ID, we one professional, I mean business email address. And sometimes some people, they do not mention their name in the email. I want to say it's not mention their name, rather who are those persons. Maybe by their email address we cannot trace out. But have a look, if I talk about this example, easy to identify. For example, a person's name is Mariam, first name, and the last name is Anisa. So if you make an email address, for example, without hiding your identity just by your last name or by your first name, at least when you are using this email address, the people can trace you. Oh, I know that person. It's the mail of Miss Anisa or Miss Mariam. What is the point of saying? There are many people, they just open the email addresses with different names or with different terms. Broken heart, brave heart, lion, okay, love guru. I mean, these are all unprofessional email addresses. Now let's talk about email ID pic or photo. This is also a photo, put a photo in the ID. But what sort of photo? I just gave an example here. I think you can see that has a formal look which reflects your identity. Of course, that's not your Facebook profile picture. Okay, now if we talk about these common things, so try to avoid some fancy things in your email ID, address, and your picture if it is a business correspondence mail. Now, it's a question. We are going very slow though, because we are allowing the participants to join, that how I can select my participants. For example, we do not send the mail only one participant. I'm sorry, one recipient. We sometimes want to share it with many. I'm sure these are very basic things, but still then there are some mistakes that we do. If I talk about the recipient selection, you can see that there are three options here. So main participant, sub-participants, and some participants whom we don't want to show. So that's why we have three options in an email address. and we will gradually talk about it, how you have to use it. Some of you know, some of you do not know, maybe. Now, if I talk about the two we all know, that is the main recipient. We don't need to illustrate, but we also send some people who are in the carbon copy, and these are the people, the same copy who are receiving. For example, I want to share my one thing. Here there are 20 participants already. And so if I want to send mail, only one person's name will be in the two, and the rest of the 19%, those who are 19, remaining 19, they will be in the CC, maybe not. So CC means carbon copy, but we have another option is blind carbon copy. If I want that, no, all the 20 participants' email address I'm not going to use in one box. Some email address I will also put on the BCC option, that is blind carbon copy option. That means the other participants can see who are that option. So maybe I might think, we might think that 15 participants will be in 2 or CC, and 5 more participants will be BCC, and they will be actually away from the other's identity. That means I want to keep their address secret. Why? Because I don't want to show the other people who are there. For example, here you see the 3 addresses. So 2, the person can see, everyone can see whom I actually sent. CC also people can see, but BCC I put it in the red in the sense that they can't see. Farhan and Harun cannot see. Selim is also there. Okay, there are more already joining. So we will be discussing the things maybe not second time, but from the recording you can get it. Now the question is, the mistakes or the common problem, even now here I can see, which is really very shocking, I have to say, that we send lots of mail. Lots of mails are there, but what we found that sometimes people do not care about the subject. They don't care about the email body. They don't care about their salutation, even their ending. What does it mean? That is, if I am not convinced by your subject line, I will not even open your mail. It means that subject is something, it should be, if you send it to your supervisor, it should have a professional view. If you send it to your boss, still you should have a professional view. So how should be the subject of a mail? Imtiaz, can you hear me? Imti?
Yes.
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear.
Is it clear? Is it clear to you?
Yeah, clear.
Okay, thank you. So we are coming to the subject line once again. We will show you how you can make your subject attractive, catchy. What does it mean? That is, when the people are not actually caring about it, I mean subject, what is the possible danger? That is, other people might not open your very important mail. For example, you are sending a very important mail to your boss. That's a report. Maybe you are sending this report every day as a part of your duty or job. But most importantly, your boss sometimes do not open it or do not feel like opening it. Why? Because you just write in the subject line, report. Like you, there are many other people who send the same type of mail, no, same type of subject title, report. What does it mean? That is, all the subject name is report. How your boss can understand which report is what? It means you have to be specific. It is a report of, today is August 10, 2020, report of August 10, 2020. It can be your subject, or it can be financial report of August 1st week, 2020. It means what I want to say, you see there are two subjects I have used here. Name, anyone you can take it. So your boss, when will open it, or even if you send it to CC, all the people can understand what is this report, when was this report sent, and it's at least bit specific. There are many other ways to make it specific that we'll say. So what I want to say, suppose you are sending any other thing, sharing any other document to other people. That can be your colleague, that can be your boss, that can be even your subordinate. But remember, every email correspondence can be a good reference for the future correspondence. And that's why the subject is important. When you make it specific, the people will understand that this mail was sent on that particular time, or this is a report on that particular thing, not only report, document. Okay, or suppose you are a student and here you want to send an assignment to your supervisor or your course teacher. I'm sure it is a very most common phenomena for undergrads and postgrad students. So what I want to show still here, that you see that it can be, instead of saying only homework or assignment, you can say this assignment is about assignment 2, 1, whatever, you just put a number, marketing management. Suppose that was the assignment subject. Your short name, my short name I write in OFH, date 10/8/2020. This is a sample. What does it mean? This subject is more focused and informative. Don't write any line or don't copy any line for the subject line. Rather, you see that it is something you have to use your brain, or homework, or assigned task, marketing management, financial report, or whatever the things. That might change, but at least you have to be smart in writing that. Now, what we said, it should be focused and better to be short. Now, if you see that the main feature of an email, actually, we found that all the emails is not required to be lengthy. Email is actually precise, but some people want to send lengthy mail. Like I saw my supervisor, there are many other people, they also write lengthy mail. Now, what is the problem of the lengthy mail? And why we don't actually enjoy that mail? It's better you use an attached file as a document. So what happens when the people check the mail? Sometimes when we check the WhatsApp, we do not read all the messages right time. So what is the point here? We will be telling one thing. We'll be saying that try to make your mail precise, but for the lengthy mail, try to use attached file. Okay, I think Imtiaz, they are giving us access to work, I mean, for long, unlimited time. Okay. Now we are talking about our next point. Now, a smart approach. We are coming to our main point. How you can make your mail correspondence professional. One thing I would like to tell you, that is, suppose you are applying for a job, you are applying for your PhD fund, you are applying for any, you are offering any business, new business to some people. What does it mean? So you have to draft your mail. You have to think about the points that you want to approach. So what we do, we take the smartphone and we just immediately write some lines and we just send it. But actually, this is not a professional mail. I want to say that now I'm presenting it using my laptop. And what I want to tell you, that is, you can use a big screen. You can use the big screen to write, take your time, and then you send a mail. So as you see that one mail can even change your luck. How? We'll tell you later. For example, when you're sending the mail, we are actually Sending it to whom? For example, for the academic purposes, to our course tutor, instructor, to our supervisor, to our friends. And from the professional point of view, we are sharing some information with the boss. So look at the purposes. We are writing it to the supervisor, some updates, course teachers, some updates as well, or some assigned task. Now, number 3, have a look. Many of you have done this by other media, that is survey. You want to conduct a survey. It can be a survey for your research, it can be for your business, it can be for your any other purposes. And also you want to share one information to the mail. I mean, instead of using it in any other medium. Now, have a look. Thanks for your patience once again. Here we'd like to say that this is just a format, but not universal. So you can start with dear sir, morning, afternoon, or greetings from you represent, for example, one organization from Universiti Putra Malaysia, or from any other institution, you can say. So it's just a simple mail. You are sending an attached file or just document. You can start like this. It is called formalities in the mail or professionalism. You say, sir, I send you a mail about it. Please check it. And now look at the last sentence. Why you send this mail? You will appreciate if the person who is the recipient is getting the mail should read it, and if he gives you the feedback, that does make sense. I mean, here, don't send any mail blank. I mean, at least write one sentence or write something. This is a mail about what? You are not a ghost. You are a person. So you just write something. This is a mail about something. Good morning, afternoon. That makes sense. And please check it. You are requesting that person because you made that document with lots of care. So you are insisting that person, would you please check it? Okay. And then how you write your last part, signature file, your name, not in small letter. I mean, not casually. Please make a format for that. Your full name must be there. Your designation must be there. Organization and all other organization link, like Facebook link, if you have the YouTube link. And what's the most interesting? Those who are the academicians, they also add a link of their profile or their research. So what does it mean? So when the people just getting his mail, with the same mail, he's getting his business address, he's getting other details, so that very quickly they can access to that. So now let's come to the point when it is a very important mail. If you want to pursue someone, how you will write and what shall you write there? For example, this is a very common thing in UPM. We saw that those who are the students of dissertation or research, they send many survey questionnaire for others to fill it up and send it back. Especially in the Messenger, WhatsApp, and other media, they do it. But some people, maybe you don't have the WhatsApp. You want to just share it by mail. So what do you need to do? You have to write something. I'm reading it for you. So when you are sending it to unknown person, in the sense that you don't know him, but you expect him to fill it up. So you are introducing like this: I'm a researcher of this field in PhD, master's, or bachelor. And as a part of my dissertation, I would like to request you are directly pursuing the person, spend few minutes. Sometimes when I look this word, then I am convinced. Few minutes means some people say it will take only 5 minutes. So we think that, okay, within 5 minutes, if we can help this person, that's good. And then you can write some other persuasive words that please, this simple effort can contribute significantly. That means you are a very important person to me. If you do it for me, I'll be very grateful to you. Look at the last sentence. It is like psychologically you are convincing. May Almighty assist you similarly in academic journey. Like next time, maybe he will do the same. He will send this type of survey questionnaire to someone and he will remember you. I mean, when you are writing a mail, which you really need the participation of the recipients, you must write some convincing words by which they feel working with you or helping you. It is not an universal format. For your information, my dear viewers, this is something, a template. I just share it with you for your understanding. Now, how can I write a smart mail? Already it has been covered, but still I'm just telling about. That is, you can, I told you before, think about the points. For example, you are writing a very strong mail to one client. Or suppose you are writing an apology to someone, an apology to something like you did, but you now are sorry for that. So think about it, and then you start writing. I repeat, it's better not to write in the smart devices, because what happens sometimes the smart devices I saw, they change the term or they change the words. So before you click the send button, you must remember, you read it, that whether all the words that you try to convey is there, what you try to write. So it's better you write in the laptop or you write in the big screen, so you can check the spelling, you can just write. Now, I also sometimes consider email just like a very formal application. It's not less than that. So don't try to write in one para. If you want to write a good email, starting one line, then you are writing your topic, something related to your topic in another para, then the main issue in another para. For example, in 2 or 3 para, you can write this mail. If you write all together, all the points very quickly, then what happens? There is a mess. Look at the last point. Here, the last point is treat the mailing, all the mails as your official. Because when we just press the print button, automatically it turns into a hard copy or document. So remember that your email is not only a simple mail, it's more than that. Here, it is working as a document for future reference. Now, let's talk about the starting. So when you write a quick mail, we don't care about salutation. We don't care about actually, hi, assalamu alaikum, or what is say good morning and afternoon. But I repeat, even I send it to my colleague or to my friend, I give some salutation, dear sir, dear brother, or whatever the things. But think about it, even I saw, unfortunately, when someone is sending any CV to others or an application to others, they do not write any subject. They do not write the name of the CV, whose CV it is. Even they do not care anything. They just send the file as attachment. It means you are very unprofessional if you do that. Any document you send, you forward, you must write something to make it clear. That is, this mail is about something. So the person who is the recipient open it. So here I would like to once again thanks Onism for organizing this type of program. It is just a basic, but we will talk more about in the last, what is our plan in future. And thanks to also the host, Imtiaz, for arranging it. Now, interesting part. When you write a very good email, have you found that it has some connection with, you see there is a sign. The sign is used twice. It has some connection with that. Okay, let me make it clear to you. If you have ever any experience of writing an emotional letter to your beloved, certainly you didn't write it very quickly. You use some convincing words or vocabulary. That means when you're writing a mail, a serious mail to your boss, to your supervisor, or to anyone else, you have to also think about the vocabulary. Why I'm just here comparing it with a love letter? Because when you are writing a letter to your beloved or sending a message to your beloved, if it is an affectionate mail or a message, you think and then you write. The bottom line is this: when you are writing a good mail or a persuasive mail, you have to also use some impressive vocabulary, some convincing vocabulary, For example, if I talk about the context of a director from Bangladesh, he wanted to approach a Bollywood superstar to cast in his super hit film. I won't mention the name of those persons. So this director has no connection with that Bollywood star or superstar. He didn't know that superstar. The superstar doesn't know that director as well. So what did he do? Most importantly, he wrote a very interesting mail or a very convincing mail, that Bangladeshi director, to Bollywood star. And that Bollywood star then checked it out or read it very carefully. And what happened next is the history. That becomes a very super hit film. That means that Bollywood star accepted his proposal of that Bangladeshi director, acted there, and also he became the producer of that film. This is a merit of a professional male, because he could convince by his mailing words, and then he became the part of the team. Now think about, you are a student who are planning to come abroad or who are planning to study abroad. You want to study in Oxford or in US or any New Zealand, Australia. What do? You even mail to some prospective supervisors. Do you write only one sentence for that? Or you also write some convincing words there? You try to do what? You try to pursue that supervisor that you are a very potential candidate, and that's why they should accept you, or you should get an admission in that particular university. So I give you just two perspectives. That is, if you can convince by your sentences and your words, then that supervisor will try to contact you, or that university will feel interested about you. And in that case, what I will expect, what I will suggest you, that is, you better first think about that the profile of that person whom you are corresponding, and you know about that person first, and then you try to write to him. Without knowing that person, if you just directly approach that, sir, I'm a very competent candidate for this project, for this fund, or for this area, nobody's going to bother you. What I want to tell you, first, try to know that person and then write to him. Try to understand that person's potentiality, use some convincing words first about that person, and then you try to write it. That makes sense. And then that person will think about whether you are a right person to communicate or not. Otherwise, they will not bother you. Because, you know, those are the important person. They get this type of mail from different sources many times. So they don't hear all the mails. Now, if we talk about some other issues, for example, many people write mails without ending. It's just like writing an application, ending without any implication. I mean, what he wants, he writes an application, he just told the scenario, but at the end, that person didn't say what he wants. Well, for example, when you are writing it to an academic person, at the end, you should mention, so please, I will appreciate, or please consider this issue so that I can think about this matter, or I can get a feedback from you. Write something, what you expect. This should be your final or concluding sentence without saying nothing. Sometimes some people say, waiting to, they say, looking forward to meeting you. Okay, these are some common templates, they also use it. And some people also do some copycat paste. That is not professional. Maybe you copied from others' mail, but that's not your last sentence. You wanted to say something else. And here is a question of communication. Some people, they don't want to write in a single word. They even take the help of someone. So here what we say, that just like your beginning, Imtiaz, hello?
Yes.
You can hear me, right?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
But little bit interruption in the internet.
Yeah. So just like your beginning, I will tell you, when you are writing the ending, you must also write it in a way as if the people can understand what's your expectation of your mail. For example, sometimes many people tell us, I send a mail to this person, I send this document to that person, but they are not responding, or I'm not getting any feedback from that. Have you mentioned in your mail why you send that mail? Or have you ever mentioned what is your expectation? So if you send an email to your supervisor, for example, at the end you say, I send you this report or this draft, could you please check it and give me a feedback so that I can work on this in the next week or after a few days? You might think, okay, who I am to ask that person or pursue that? No, that you can openly mention it, because that person will do it or not, that is a different thing. That's what we say. There are some pursuing word, convincing words, which is important, and try by yourself to write it. Some people are afraid even that whether I should use it or not. Okay, now we are almost at the end, but it's not the end. We would like to say that, so what should be the professional email? So we always say one thing, that when you are using the smartphone or when you are using the mail very quickly, what is more likely is you will have a lot of errors in that mail. This is quite unprofessional. Whenever we talk about the outlook of that professional mail, some mail, if you see from your organization or institution, they have also some logo in that mail. So suppose if Onism is sending an email to me from Onism, I will expect that they are supposed to have a logo of Onism in that mail. This is just like one professional outlook, one sample of that. Now, error-free mail. So you quickly wrote a mail and there are a lot of spelling mistake, no punctuation, capitalization, and also small caps. Lots of problems are there. We actually think that it's not a big deal. I repeat, some people do not check your message, but some people, they love to check mail. I repeat, email is more official than your WhatsApp chatting and than your other medium of communication. So when you just write a mail, when you reply a mail, when you are planning to compose, in that case, please take time to do that, and don't write too big message. Here, one thing I would like to share once again, when the message is too big, then it is very unlikely that everybody reads it. It's better to use an attached file, and more importantly, you should also mention that what is in that attached file when you are mailing. What does it mean? That like it's a busy life, like the other messages, we also read the messages of the mail very quickly. So it should be short. In the smart devices, the spelling error is the most common problem. That's what we found. You wrote maybe Habibi, it becomes Hub. The name changed, or you wanted to say that is Habi, it becomes Halal. I mean, it changes because your smart device don't have that word. Changes. Many phrases are changed, you know that. So what happens? You should revise as well. It is the most common problem. We do not do it. We try to do very quickly. And again, try to avoid shorthands in the mail. Shorthand means, for example, even many people write an FYI for your information. You understand? Or they can say as soon as possible, ASAP. Okay, some of us, we know it. It's okay. It's quite fine. Some people might say, what does he say? He tell me ASP. What does it mean? So when we are actually using different languages in the messages, then this problem comes in the email. Please write complete sentence and complete word. Then punctuation, I don't want to repeat these things. I even got many messages. Sometimes, I'm sorry, not many. They write all in the caps lock, capitalization, or all in the shorthand. Of course, we should avoid that. And this is just the beginning. In fact, from the organizers, they told us to make some other webinars only for the academicians. For example, those who are belonging to different universities, colleges, institutes. For them, we want to organize next program, that is email writing tips for academic purposes. How you will write the mails to different persons in the academia, starting from your course teacher to the persons who will accept your grant. We will not teach you how to do that, but magic tips means we will show you some other points related to it. And emailing for successful career. Personally, I conducted many programs like this. That is, in these sessions, we tell the participants to write the mail, or in fact, they come to the live session and they write the mail. So they practically know what are their mistakes, whether it is a formatting mistakes or their sentence mistakes. So for them, we want to make another program, emailing for successful professionals or career. So this is our future plan, and maybe we have almost finished. If you want to discuss more about it, or if you have any question, you can write it in the chat box. We still have 40 minutes or 30 minutes. This is my email address, mrprofessor16@gmail.com, and there are other addresses of Onism. That's all from me up to now. Imtiaz.
Okay, thank you, sir, for sharing your wonderful insights and informations. We are enlightened, and we hope the informations will be highly beneficial for our career progression. If our participants have any questions, they can unmute themselves and then ask the questions. And I would like to also request them to open their videos to take the snaps. I want to take some snaps for recording purpose. So if possible, please open your videos. Can you stop this screen share, please?
Oh, sure.
And we understand that email writing is very important issue that we neglect mostly, but we have planned to organize more workshops in details and in depth as well in future.
Can you please request all to just open their videos, video options?
Yeah, please. Okay, done. Okay. If any questions, you can unmute or you can write down in your chat box. 5 minutes we have allocated for the questions and answer sessions.
Okay, I got one question. Yeah, one some.
I'm Shahrul Islam. I want to know about how to reply the mail actually. Sometimes we are replying auto format, just noted with thanks or something like that.
Yes.
I think if you tell something about this.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for your interest. And I actually wanted to include it in this presentation as well, but I thought that I could not cover time. Okay, for a reply mail, remember, first mistake that we do, let me talk about the mistake, and then we'll talk about the content. There are some options. First we see reply to all, or there are some other options. So first you have to think, are you going to reply personally, or you're going to reply the whole mail to all, whoever are there? Okay, so selection of the participant also is important in the reply mail. Second, yes, there are some templates that also we can see in the reply mail. By default, you can see the Google or the Gmail, they just give it. Thank you very much, or they say, so nice of you, or received with thanks, noted. Okay, but I want to tell you one thing. One question, Imtiaz, there are some messages, you read it and just you tell me later on. Okay,
sure,
please note it down.
Yeah.
Okay, so in the reply mail, please don't follow all the times the formats by default. It can be also a mail, I'm sorry, it can be also something that you can write to defend yourself, not defend, I'm sorry, this is not a proper word, to clarify some of the points. The reply mail can be, they can ask you, hey, you were late, or you didn't do that, or I didn't get it, why? Or maybe I give you, just tell me something about it. In the reply mail, you say noted, received. Again, that's he didn't or she didn't ask for. That person want a clarification. Fine. In that case, you treat it as a mail also to write something, but precisely. And later, you can say in the end, for further clarification, you can communicate me over mobile phone, or you can contact me by some other medium. I mean, the reply mail should be also properly addressed with the short message, rather than writing just noted or received with thanks. The most common templates, using the common templates. But if you think that, no, I don't need to write a lot of things, but you should acknowledge. That is a courtesy. In the reply mail, you should say, thanks for your mail. I will get back to you soon. At least you can write this sentence.
Assalamu alaikum, Mr. Farhan.
Wa alaikum assalam.
I really appreciate your initiative, and it was very well interactive, though very short workshop, but it's the start, and we look forward to having some more comprehensive workshops. And I really appreciate the initiative. This is what is really required in the world of academia. I have just one quick question.
Yes.
In WhatsApp protocol, I can know that if I send you a message, by and large, I can know that you have read my message. But is there any protocol in the email that if I sent you an email, how can I know that it has been read by you? Is there any protocol or any facility about that?
Oh, that's a very good question. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I would like to tell you this thing. Recently, I have opened this thing. I have, yes, but I can, this answer might be helpful to many now. So that's why, Imtiaz, next time, let them all mics on. Okay, so I love interaction. So here, what happens, there are many softwares. There are many softwares. If required, I will just send you a link, or I'll tell you where that is checker. That is, suppose your supervisor checked your mail, or your boss checked your mail. How can you know? That's maybe your question. So that checkers will let you know that when and how many times that person opened that mail or checked that mail. In the Google, or I actually cannot remember the names of those. That is, you just check it. That is
the email
tracker or checker. Sorry?
The email tracker.
Yeah, there are few. There are
Recently,
many few apps.
Recently, I have used one. Yeah, recently I have used one, and there have a lot of packages like basic and the premium. Okay.
No, they are free. There are many apps free. There are many free
I know,
apps.
but free apps, but they have a lot of features. If you use the premium one, then the person who received the email, he can ignore but you cannot know about that you open already. Okay.
Right.
So,
Right.
so it will hide your identity that
Right.
you sent. Like, okay.
So in fact, there are some trackers and there are some software where you can see from which location, what time that person checked it, how many times he checked it. And it happens actually, it helps the students mostly, that whether my teacher opened my mail at all, or when I send a CV to a person, whether he read the CV at all. Actually, we the people really open or check maybe today or later on, but it's better to have some trackers so that we can check it. I mean, you can trace out. Next, any other question?
Yes, but are we supposed to install this tracker in our system? I wonder if you could help more.
Yeah, you can easily install in your system in the Google, the extension. There are extension you can just link up with your Google. Okay, but be aware about that. Lot of supervisors and lot of professors, they don't like if you track them. Okay, so you have to be careful about that. Okay, if you tracking, they feel like embracing, or you are checking them frequently.
I just have another quick question, if you allow me, Dr.
Sure,
Imtiaz.
you can proceed. Please.
Okay. Sometimes there is an email link, for example, on website, or if we apply for a job. If we click on this link, it directs us to Microsoft Outlook. And I have never been able to establish my, or I have never been able to send an email through Microsoft Outlook. How to get it fixed? Because usually I use the Google email mostly, but when I click on it, it directly takes me to Microsoft Outlook. How does it happen, and how can we address it? Thank you.
Imtiaz, you have any answer for that?
For that, no, I don't have.
Okay. Dear sir, thanks for your question. So far, I can tell you these things. That is, if you see that by the Outlook, you want to just do that, and it's not supporting your system, in that case, you can take the help of an expert on that, because I have never used Outlook as well. But if you see that it's not safe, or maybe it's not going to work, then you better just go to their direct website or to their person and ask them that whether this mail is at all used or not. Sometimes some people, some organizations, they give some mail info, sort of these things. Maybe not the proper person is getting that mail. This is my experience, I'm telling you. Now, this type of mail, where you see that Outlook link and other things, these are very common email link. It's better not to use those. Suppose you want to send it directly to the management, or to the HR, or to the particular department. You try to use that particular site's mail. This is my suggestion, rather than using a common one, because the common one sometimes maybe they do not open, or even they open not the right person. Did you get my point?
Okay, we have.
Thank you so much, Doctor.
This is my experience.
Thank you.
Okay, we have one last question, very interesting question from MD Naim Hossain, Naim Bhai. His question is, do you think WhatsApp and Messenger or any other faster platform can replace the traditional email sending in future? There are any possibilities of replacing email by WhatsApp or Messenger?
Dr. Naim, I would like to ask you one question on behalf of myself. Don't take it personally. You know that beyond the wife, sister-in-law is more preferable. Even if you have 5 sister-in-law, wife is wife.
Yes. Yes, correct.
Did you get my answer?
Yeah.
Did you get my answer?
Yeah, I actually why I asking this one?
Yes.
I attend one WhatsApp actually workshop.
Okay.
That is in Malaysia.
Mm-hmm.
I was that's why I'm asking you the question. And that guy actually he just want to express that maybe the WhatsApp may be taking over this kind of the traditional email, but I was not agree with him. Why I was, because you already give me the answer, right? So, but he was in a such way, he was actually understanding us that now the world is going very faster, right? So now the email is very traditional and professional things.
True.
And his logic was everything. You see, if I send an email from the Google, and Messenger, WhatsApp also under Google, right? Our main thing is the same. The platform is the same. Now the Google, and then you see the Apple, they are actually playing the game. The whole world, the world. His logic was, if you can use the Google email, so why you are not believe on the trust on the WhatsApp? What is the problem? Because you see, WhatsApp is very faster. If you like to happen with your boss or whatever your supervisor, you can quickly message him. Not the very traditional, dear sir, blah blah, good morning. No need. You can foster very fast communication, and no need so many actually the evidence. Because now the time is very important thing, right? The time is very valuable. If you type a email, it takes 10, but if you just WhatsApp within 2 or 3 minutes, so where is the benefit? And then if the action is same, so the faster thing we can adopt. But still, I'm also still I'm doubtful that maybe the world is changing. You see, now after the new normal, once people are actually telling about this, the world it will be very faster and everything will be digitized. So
okay, let me share two experience in this regard. Today in my when I was studying, there was one person who was asking. I sent a lot of message to my supervisor, but I didn't get any response. So I understood what that person said. I said, is it a email or WhatsApp message? So that person said, WhatsApp message. I said, that's why your supervisor didn't open it. This is my first experience. That is, still it is not recognized as formal corresponding medium. Messenger, WhatsApp. Still, it is not. As far as email is concerned, it is still considered as official correspondence medium. That's why we are here. We are in this webinar. Email is email. It has a value, and it is officially recognized. That is, you cannot, before we used to send a paper document. Now there is no paperless office. So we are sending the same thing as a soft copy, and it will be considered as a document. I give an example. My father applied for US visa back to 20 years back. 15 years back, and the embassy didn't reply. Then I took a risk. I said, my father, let me take a risk. That is, the embassy cannot hold your passport because he's a very frequent traveler. He goes to Saudi Arabia, he goes to many other places. I said, if they do not give you the visa, they're supposed to return you the passport. So what I did, I directly mailed to US embassy. And I said, dear sir, I'm an old guy. Please leave my passport or let me know what is the status of my visa. They gave the visa, and they said, don't send us mail like this. First time we get this type of mail, okay, we give you. If I send him a messenger or WhatsApp, did he care? Not at all. Third example, I'm sorry. I used to send messages to my supervisors many times. So I didn't get any reply. Whenever I send an email, I get a reply. Difference is, still the people consider email as official and formal correspondence. And that's why this webinar is important. And inshallah, in future, we will also arrange more.
Okay, can I take one question? Last questions?
Please. Please, please.
We have one question. How do we know that the email link sent to us does not contain any malicious materials?
Okay. Back to 2000. In the year 2000, I had a training from New York, USA. And I'm very lucky. My first training on computer was from USA. And there, my teacher taught me that is those who are spam, malicious, or virus type of mail, you will see their address itself has a problem and their subject has a problem. Don't open those type of unknown mails where their spelling is wrong, their subject is suspicious. At least you have that capability to understand this mail is not the right mail. For example, I give you a bad example. My teacher even told me the mail subject can be I love you. 90% mail recipients will open it. 90%. Who love me? Let me check it. Even you are married. I'm sorry to say. And that is a spam. That means that destroyed your hard disk or computer. This is a question that which mail I should open and which I should not, depending on the subject email address. If I think that this is suspicious, I should not open that.
Okay, thank you, sir. I think that's all for today. And then I want to announce that our next program, next webinar will be on 18th of August, and it will be regarding the searching journal article. How can we search the journal article appropriately and effectively, efficiently? So we will share details and flyer very soon. So please stay with us, and thank you so much, Mr. Osman, and our honorable participants for your active participations. So if you have anything, you can just conclude. By saying you can conclude. Yeah.
That's me? Okay. I can see still there are some quitting and there are some in, very few, but still then, maybe the time was not impressive. I mean, not suitable. Many people opened at 9:30 a.m. They asked me, hey, where is your link? I said, come on, that's 9:30 p.m. Or maybe they were not impressed by the profile of the facilitator, or I lost my weight. They were not impressed by my face. And that's why there are less participants, but still it's a joke. I'm grateful to everyone who are here still and listening to it. Truly speaking, I have conducted this type of training, maybe 100 in different programs, this type of program. But in this new normal, I actually cannot do any activity. It's just a lecture, one way. I am a person who loves interactive sessions. I already said to you, some activities, some other works. So maybe in future, I will keep some activities, but stay with us, stay with Onism. I have to tell you that, yeah, it's just the beginning. Maybe it's a bit informative, but next time it will be also entertaining, inshallah. And I would like to thank those participants who are from different parts of Malaysia and other part of the world. There are some colleagues and friends who were there, and I hope in future they will be also with us. And thanks for joining and have your patience and also spending some time. For at least you have learned a single word from this webinar. And in future, I believe that Imtiaz, he's a very dynamic person. He can arrange more programs like this and give the opportunities to others to participate here. And I have a request to others as well. You don't stay with Onism only alone. Spread this, the campaign, share it. That is what is their objective. I found they want to work on the research. They want to work on some soft skill, professional skills. If you are a trainer, you can be with us. If you are a learner, you can be with us. Spread it, because when you spread these things, ultimately what happens? Maybe you will get the benefit from others who maybe you didn't participate in one program, your friend participated and shared with you. So knowledge has no ending. So you just keep updated and keep at us. I would like to conclude my speech by saying one thing. I belong to the University, Green University of Bangladesh, and my Vice Chancellor is the most dynamic person I have ever seen in my life. He he was even a professor, a visiting professor in USA. So he was a very big personal in BRAC International. Then from USA, he directly joined to Green University of Bangladesh. So I saw him at the age of 60 or 65, still he is learning from everyone. Technology, research, whatnot. Even I'm an English professional, he asked us, okay, Osman, about this, what should I do? How to use it? I just look at him. At the age of 65, nobody is willing to learn a new thing. Keeping up to date is very important thing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sir, can you make me host again?
Sure.
Because I have to conclude.
You are now a ghost. You are still a ghost. Let me check it.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you to all. Please stay with us and share our pages, our programs,
Sure.
so that your
So
friends
thank
will be
you.
beneficial.
Thank you.
Thank you, Naim Bhai. Thank you, Musa. Thank you, Asnur Rahman Mullik Bhai.
Thank you, Osman Bhai.
Most welcome. Thanks for being here with us.
Thank you.
Yeah, now you are a host and I'm a ghost.
Okay, thank you. I just concluded. Okay.
Okay. Take care.
Good
Good
night.
night.
Good night. Take care
Thank
to
you.
all.
Thank
Good night,
you.
everyone.
Thank you.
You are too early for the next program.
Yeah, unfortunately, just now joined Ms. Sabina Lucky. No problem. We will share our recording video in our
No
YouTube
problem.
channel.
No
Okay.
problem. I'm
So that-
sorry for having a lot of fun. And Naim Bhai, I'm sorry. I didn't say about your Shali. I said about Bhabi. Okay, remember.
Okay.
It's
Thank
an
you, sir.
example, right?
Okay.
It's a-
Good night to all.
Okay,
Good night.
thank you. Thank you very much.
Good night.